Hello again, most excellent time traveller. Welcome back to the Nightwolf Den and to my time loop era of the 1980s. And like with the mega cool things we went through last time, I've got even more top quality 80s goodness for you today. So let's get RAD. And for the very first most excellent thing from the 1980s, we have the Tomy Rock and Roll Maze. Now, you might remember these. You might remember Screwball Scramble, which was like a little mechanical game where the ball goes over ramps and you have to move it, and you've got to move it around these obstacles to try and get to the end. Well, this is a similar type of thing, but instead you'll be tilting and using physical skill to tilt and move the board to get the ball right around the different mazes and through all the different things. And as it says here, can you guide the ball through all the obstacles and out of the maze? It's a race against time. Or if you're in a time loop of the 1980s, you're not really in a race because it keeps looping. But nevertheless, you've got the timer there. Let's open it up. And I actually picked up this on a previous time loop from a charity shop of all places. And as you can see, it's got so many different areas that you have to get the ball through. So this bit, which you just cannot see underneath, there's flags missing, which is a shame, but I can stick with the flags in, that's fine. There's a couple of, I think they're like bollard things which come up in this section. It does have the instructions, which is always nice. And it does have the roof for this section. Chimney? Is it a chimney? I don't know. And some of these bits where you just can't see where the ball is going, so you're in your timer and you've got to try and wiggle them around to try and get them out. And obviously you start there, you go down through, this is throwing you all over the place, this is pushing you up onto different levels. And it is a really, really cool game. Now, Tomy, around the 70s and 80s, have produced a lot of these. So the clever kind of mechanical toys like this, and Screwball Scramble was a favorite. This is a favorite. I remember this before my time loop even started. I remember it. And obviously, when you're going in to different places, you're looking at toys in shops and things, and this thing's on the shelf. You know, you're a lot smaller. This is magical stuff. Magical stuff to see a box like this with all those bright colours on and seeing it played and it whirring around. I do have a battery for it, but I'm hoping it works because I haven't actually tried this yet. So let's hope that this works. I think it's this one. Is it this one? It was not the right battery. But now I've got the right battery. It's a C. Size C. So let's see, this could oh, it started. So the idea is, oh, we're off and away. Brilliant. Probably hasn't been powered on in a while, I reckon. They're the flags that move around there. You can see the little lifters, so that'll keep pushing you onto the wrong level there. And of course, once you get it in here, right at the very end, it's teasing you a bit because there's only one hole. Is there one hole? There's only one hole to get it through there, so you've got to wait till it comes back around. And of course, you've got to do it before the time runs out. There is an auto, so it'll just run constantly if you're not very good at it. But usually, there's the start. You set it to the start, and it goes around the timer to try and get it to the end, through the hole, into there, and then you win. I guess you could time it with your friends to see who does the best time on it. as well. But yeah, that is the Tomy Rock and Roll Maze, and what a game this is. There's more things on here, like a banner thing there, something missing there, but I can try and pick up those as and when. But yeah, such a great game from Tomy in 1988, and it's been great to play. And moving on to another rad 80s item, and it is the Memorex Compact Disc Storage Cabinet. So this will be holding all of those amazing compact disc CDs in a storage cabinet. So this is what we're talking about here. And when the CD boom begins this year, in the year 1986, CDs absolutely take off for the rest of the 80s. The sound difference, the sound quality, as I take this out, between a cassette, as much as we all love cassettes here in the 80s, is like a dream. It's so clear, there's no real interference, there's none of this. It really is taking off, and I'm sure that this will last a long time, CDs, and I'm sure that even in your timeline, wherever you are, you'll potentially still be using these CDs because they are most excellent. And I'm sure at one point you won't even use CDs. You'll just push some panes of glass or push the air or tell a unit to play something, and I'm sure they will just play it. But here in the 1980s, we need cool storage places to put our compact discs, and this is one of those things. So look at that lovely 80s design, sleek black, and you can actually get other ones for VHS as well, because obviously Memorex do a lot for CDs and magnetic media and tapes. There's a cassette one there, compact disc, video cassette, audio storage. So this is an excellent addition to the Nightwolf Den. Brand new from here in the 80s. Hopefully, it's around the wrong way, brilliant. There you go. Brand new from here in the 1980s. It fits 40 compact discs in. So 40 gloriously shiny compact discs for premium audio listening over cassettes, even though we do like cassettes. And I like these because you can put potentially TVs on the top, or small TVs. So they're a good booster if you need to boost it up. And they match all of this stuff here, which is the sleek black style goodness. The luxury line, black and silver, is quite a popular look, as you can see in a lot of my gear here from the 1980s. So yeah, that is a great pickup. And I've got some really rad compact discs, or CDs for short, as I tend to call them, to put in here. Another good item. And speaking of which, for audio and cool vinyl records and sounds, we have Michael Jackson's Thriller, the global phenomenon, which was of course released in 1982. And it is, or certainly at the point in time where maybe you are, the best-selling album with over 70 million copies sold worldwide. What a record this is. I mean, who isn't going to be interested in that? Michael Jackson in a white suit with a baby tiger. I mean, what a picture. I mean, yeah, I know he liked having a lot of animals. Was the tiger his? I'm not sure. Probably better in a jungle, but there you go. Michael Jackson Thriller, which is also on compact disc, which I can put in my new storage facility. It created 7 top 10 hits, which is absolutely mega for an album. I mean, even just having one hit is excellent for a lot of people, but to have that many hits in one go is absolutely tremendous, and it shows how good this album is. And actually the video for this is by John Landis, who directed also Three Amigos, who we spoke about on the last video. And if you remember, back in 1983, Michael introduced that moonwalk on the Motown 25 show, which absolutely swept forward the sales of Thriller. And before my time loop commenced, one of the videos that I would absolutely hammer and copy and listen and watch the magic is The Legend Continues, Michael Jackson, which is in 1988 this comes out. So actually here in 1986 this comes out in 2 years, but this is my original VHS, which has somehow stayed around from my very first, before my time loop even started. This is what I would watch over and over and over and over and over and over again, to see Michael and see all of the stories that about Michael. And this VHS sells a lot of copies, so this is about 400,000 or so copies in the UK, and then 500,000 in the US. Now, bearing in mind how big the US is, 400,000 in the UK is absolutely huge, and it goes to show just how big Michael was, not just all around the world, but especially here in the UK. And of course, right now in 1986, he is literally the undisputed king of pop, and just all of the fashion he influences right now. I saw him on the TV the other day, just fantastic. All his dance moves and what he brings to music in general is just absolutely, he is literally the king of pop. And this Thriller record won 8 Grammys in 1984, so 2 years after it was first made, and it stayed in the #1 place for absolutely weeks on end in the charts, and it was huge on MTV, and still gets shown because of how absolutely amazing it is. Of course, produced by Quincy Jones, blending so many different things, and it's such a different sound to a lot of other people. There's a certain groove to his music and tracks, and all the different sounds he uses, they're very quite unique. You can usually tell when one of his tracks comes on, because the actual sounds used in the music are just noticeably Michael. Absolutely brilliant. And like last time when we spoke about Power Drift and our Turbo Outrun on the Commodore 64, we have another Commodore 64 special for you, and that is Advanced Dungeons and Dragons from in 2 years' time in 1988. But again, I got this on a previous time loop of the 1980s, and this isn't just Dungeons and Dragons, the famous Dungeons and Dragons from here in the 80s, where there's so many different people here play Dungeons and Dragons. This is Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, and it's such a popular side-scrolling game, and it's actually one of the earliest Dungeons and Dragons games that you will find here on the ultra special Commodore 64. There will be a port to the Nintendo, the NES, in 1991, but obviously that's just outside my time loop, but I do vaguely remember it being on there before my time loop commenced, because as it goes, originally when it goes beyond the 1980s, I can't remember. I know there's only certain things I can remember. A lot of things get faded. So that comes out in 1991, but this one is super popular in 1988 and on the Spectrum. So it's not just the Commodore 64, but on the Spectrum. And as usual with Dungeons & Dragons games, it's all about combat and mixing it up with different dragons and various draconian things. And as it says here, the legendary Dragonlance game comes alive in this exciting action game. And the story of this one ties in with Dragons of Autumn Twilight, which is the first Dragonlance book, Heroes of the Lance. And this one spawned sequels like Dragons of Flame. And I'm sure that even in your timeline, you will still be loving Dungeons and Dragons. And what a great animated TV show there is as well here in the 1980s. which we will talk about at another time as well. And for the grand finale, found in the dusty ruins of Eternia, is a model Castle Grayskull from He-Man, built almost exactly like the place itself. What a delight this is to see. And I've even lined it further with a bit of felt on the inside, so I don't know what I'm going to put in there. But as an ornament from Eternia, this is magical. Such a great piece, and being found in Eternia, I believe it's only a 1 of 1 thing, certainly with the paint and things on. And of course, the brilliance of Masters of the Universe, or before my time loop started, He-Man. I mean, does anyone say Masters of the Universe? It's too long. He-Man. As it always used to be. He-Man, Cringer, turning into Battle Cat. Because remember, he's Prince Adam, and then he turns into He-Man. And Cringer turns into Battle Cat, ready for some fierce battles against Skeletor and his evil horde. And of course, Castle Grayskull is where He-Man resides, and Skeletor in Snake Mountain. And here in the 80s, it is an absolute staple of a Saturday morning to be watching He-Man from 1983 to 1985. And the toys, of course, well, Masters of the Universe, and of course Masters of the Universe began and was launched by Mattel in 1982 to such a tremendous reception from everyone, certainly the younger members among us, and certainly before my time loop started, He-Man was one of the favourite things that was ever brought onto the earth. Quite simply, He-Man was that good. Certainly before my time loop commenced, and many a Christmas did I remember receiving just these very things: He-Man, Battle Cat, Stridor, Skeletor, so many different things. And of course, whichever figures that you didn't have, your friends probably had them, depending on which friends you had. And the thing, like, for example, before my time loop commenced, I'd have these guys, but I wouldn't have Dragon Walker, and I didn't have Triclops either. But obviously now, bearing in mind my time loop has gone around numerous times, I can pick these up in these days in my time loop. And of course, the Dragon Walker, what an impressive beast this is. Switching around, spinning around as it's going forward, really impressive. And being a youngster, this is magical stuff. This is magical stuff that it's doing things like this. And that you can go into potentially a shop to just look at these on the wall and see all of them there was absolutely like a dream. And of course, Triclops here with these green armor, and that was a feature of a lot of the He-Man figures, that all the different accessories. Obviously, some would be lost. Some would be lost in a sandpit, over the wall, in the back garden, you know, in the bath sometimes, especially for Leech. And like with Triclops here, he had obviously Tri meaning 3 eyes, which go right to the front of his head. So that was his speciality, was to have 3 eyes. Brilliant. Well, he'll be able to cross a road, no problem. So to have the miniature Castle Grayskull to represent all of the most excellent He-Man world, and of course a few more. Got Man-at-Arms, and I'll be going more in depth in these at another time. Who else do we have here? Skeletor and Beastman. And when we do dive deeper into Masters of the Universe and show you some more things from Masters of the Universe, we'll be able to see some more of the super cool figures and different figures, because there was different waves of these figures. So it's not just one batch that came out. So 1986 was, for example, spawning another wave of new figures and vehicles and things like this. within the Masters of the Universe world. Some of which we had, obviously, and some of which other friends have, and some we've never even, they were only a myth. With some of them we didn't even know about. Like Eternia, I'd never seen, ever, Eternia. I didn't even hear about it until more of my time loops progressed as I've got older. And even the sight of Castle Grayskull and the sight of Snake Mountain, for example, was absolutely unbelievable if you or friends or people you know used to have them. So having this miniature Castle Grayskull is quite simply mega. And of course they aren't just to play with, they have generated so many different friendships and people going to other people's houses and enjoying time together, and different stories created between you and all of the different play sets. And it really is more than just a little toy figure. The amount of creativity and storytelling that can come with these really should not be underestimated, and friendships which have been brought about through their love of He-Man and Masters of the Universe. So yeah, Castle Grayskull, what a delight. I'm sure you'll agree that they are some of the raddest things from the 1980s, and it's been a pleasure to show them to you. Make sure to add the Nightwolf 1981 rad tunes that you've been hearing to your playlist, however you do that in the future. Is it on vinyl? I don't know. Is it on cassette? Probably. Is it on some other device that you have? Potentially. Until next time, stay rad, future dude.